What's going on, everyone? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ice Cold Takes podcast. I'm your host, Joey DeMeglio. I'm joined by, oh my gosh, what are you doing, Nick?
Sup, everyone?
Oh my gosh, I'm joined by Cjeths and, of course, Rangers Central. We're here for a big stream today. I don't know how long this one's going to go, but we're talking about Rangers trades that they could make as the draft's approaching, free agency's approaching. Everything's coming so quickly. Pause.
That's what she said.
Moves the Rangers could make via trade, free agency. Hell, they could even draft somebody. I don't know how good this draft is. I should have got Drew Way on here. I should have got Scott Wheeler on the show. Maybe Craig Button, the mayor of Whoville.
The mayor of Whoville.
Yeah. Matt's here. Boys.
Matt!
Polish Matt in the chat. Fellas, how's our summer so far?
I'll let y'all go first. I have a lot to say about summer.
You know, it's great knowing the Knicks are winning the chip next year. Gensel, maybe Kane, maybe both are Rangers. I don't know. They might do it.
Hey,
my football team has a cheerleader of a coach, but it's fine. Outside of that, pretty good shape. Mets back up, so I'm kicking back, enjoying it. That's kind of my thing.
I didn't want to say anything about the Mets because I didn't want to jinx anything, but I know they're doing really well right now. But we're here to talk about the Rangers. I know Bridges, that trade. If we're gonna continue those 94 comparisons, if the Knicks are doing this, if the Knicks are doing this, and that means the Rangers are gonna be doing this, he's gone. He's gone.
And he's Barack.
Someone started that the other day. I'm like, you piece of they tweeted
Just
about
Elsa
Gallant,
it, dude. Let it go.
With Gallant in the back-to-back years or whatever, former Gallant coach teams won the cup. I'm like, we're really starting this already.
They should call the Mets game so the bullpen doesn't have a chance to blow it.
That's a fact. When I saw Ottavino warming up, I wanted to throw up.
Who?
Out the lead go. Sorry.
Thank you. Okay. I just wanted to we're on the same page.
Judge is literally like the Rangers power play. They're never out of the game.
I said this in the group chat, and people are going to be like, baseball talk stops at this timestamp. But no, I was saying in the group chat that the Yankees are the baseball version of the Rangers. They got the power play, which is Judge, and they got Soto, which is Igor, masking the underlying issues.
Yep. The rest of the team can't do anything. 21-22 Rangers.
Somehow with the Yankees.
Ugh.
Yankees. Nephew D says, how's everyone doing?
We're good. Chenzo.
Nephew D.
Nephew D.
Big D.
Dude, I love that fucking name, dude. What a fucking Italian stallion. Vincenzo D. How do you say the last name before I say it wrong?
Daniello.
Oh my god, dude. That's what Grace and I want to name our first kid is Vincenzo. I love that. Vincenzo Daniello. This fucking guy, man. I'm gonna steal his last name.
That's my boy.
Boy.
Glenn Sather retired today, by the way.
God.
Oh.
So do we actually think he's actually retired, or
I fucking hope so. Listen, I saw Star Wars Episode 9. I don't need to see it in real life either. Let's hope that this one's actually fucking gone. We don't need him back.
Somehow.
I hope.
Dude.
I hope
don't write him back in.
I hope he left a box of cigars for Drury to smoke as he makes a blockbuster trade this offseason.
I don't know. Looking back at Sather's tenure, I don't know. No. Looking back at Sather's tenure, I don't know what was in those cigars, but let's keep Drury away from him for the time being.
Yeah, but he always had one as he made some pretty big trades that the Rangers needed to make.
Some bad signings.
I know some bad. I'm not talking about the signing. We're not talking about the signings for right now. I spent 2 weeks. I spent 2 weeks editing a video that the Rangers should be getting Brady Tkachuk only for them to trade Linus Ullmark to the Senators a day before I posted the damn thing, and now it's completely obsolete. Whatever.
No, we both
cloned himself. Yeah, who's gonna be the Poe of the Rangers to break the news that somehow Sather has returned?
Sather has returned.
He told Drury. Well, anyways, we might as well get into because we don't have any format on this show when you guys are on.
Oh hell no.
Yeah.
We just ball.
The big thing that I wanted to talk about this episode is who the Rangers have to prioritize this offseason. So Nick is the king, like I said in my video. He's the king of hypotheticals and trade
You heard it.
scenarios and
He didn't stutter.
proposals. So we might as well start with the trade route. With the guy who Nick has been wanting the Rangers to acquire for ever now, it seems like.
Forever.
So let's get into it here.
God, Andrew eats bread. So do I. In case you couldn't tell, I've gained a lot of weight from eating bread. But Andrew eats more bread than me, and the motherfucker scores. Let's talk about Mangiapane, all right? 36 even strength points. Honestly, not that impressive, but we're talking about the Rangers here. 36 even strength points would put him 6th on the team. What are we talking about? 4.45 hits per 60 would be 10th. Not great, but dude, he's scoring and he's getting involved physically. 51.1 shot attempts percentage will be 7th on the Rangers, and he was on a pretty shit Calgary team. So that number at 51.1, very impressive. 1.66 points per 60, 6th on the Rangers. 1 year left on his deal. If he sucks, you're not committed long term. My comparable would be Arvidsson to LA for a 2nd and a 3rd, Bush St. Louis for a 2nd and Semi Blay, or Skinner to Buffalo for I have to take a poo, a 2nd, 3rd, and a 6th. I think Arvidsson is the most realistic one.
Mangiapane, man. How old is he? He's in his late 20s.
I think he's 27 now.
Okay, so
for the Rangers.
So let's say they make that trade, right?
Mhm.
Where do you position them? Because are you gonna do Mangiapane with Kreider and Zibanejad, or are you gonna put Lafreniere up and put
neither one of them are coming back. What are you talking about?
You're already trading. You're getting rid of Zibanejad and Kreider.
Maybe. Possibly.
Oh my God, what's going on here?
No, but for Mangiapane, I don't know. I don't. You could the way he plays, right? I hate putting anyone with Kreider and Zibanejad because it's probably just going to screw them over. Him with Lafreniere would be kind of freaking nuts. I think Lafreniere, Trocheck, Mangiapane would be disgusting. And then I think at that point, if you're not getting any other top 6 winners, you put Panarin with Zibanejad and Kreider.
Ooh,
me thinks.
I kind of like that, man. But I know how they think though. They probably wouldn't, they would probably want to split up Panarin.
Oh, yeah, it'll make too much sense.
Yeah, Panarin and Kreider, and
But anywhere in the top 9, anywhere.
I like that idea of Lafreniere, Trocheck, Mangiapane. You put Lafreniere back on his natural side. What would a trade look? So you brought up the comparables. Like, what would the Rangers have to offer do you think, to get Mangiapane?
The tough spot the Rangers are in right now is they literally only have 1 2nd-round pick the next 3 years. So
they have 1. I thought they had
none. Oh shit, you're not kidding. They have no 2nd-round picks. So
thanks, Patrick Nemeth.
Thanks, Drury, for signing him. Good thing we got tougher and slower on defense, right?
That was
that worked out great.
Getting to him.
Yeah, that would say they're giving Drury secondhand smoke. Sick. So probably just one of our B-level prospects on a 3rd-round pick. Either way, kind of sucks not having 2nd-round picks. But there's plenty of guys the Rangers could trade to get 2nd-round picks.
They could even trade back if they wanted to. Get a couple of seconds.
How good is this draft class? I haven't heard too much about it.
Pretty much the top 15 is trash. Yeah, I was gonna say the top 15 is good, and then after that, it's pretty much most of the same until like I don't know the 50th pick or something.
So the Rangers have the 30th overall selection. You guys think it would be better for them to trade back and recoup like maybe a 2nd, a 3rd, and like a later round pick or something like that?
I was talking about it with Steven when I had him on that. Both of us think it would be the best idea for him to trade back and get 2 seconds if it's possible, because if they could land a defenseman and a center in the draft, I think that would be more beneficial versus going the route of just getting an Elick or getting an Emery, which those were the 2 guys we really talked about as like the top guys we think could land with the Rangers. But if they trade back, maybe they could get Latorno and Elick, or Latorno and a different defenseman. So boy, I'm like, if he falls, I don't know who it would be that would fall, or Hudson. That was the guy, the U.S. defense I was thinking of that might fall.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Iginla's son is in this draft, right?
Yeah, he's going early, dude.
If he makes it past Calgary, I would be stunned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So maybe trade back with the 30th. There's been crazy rumors. I don't know. You guys saw that, right? Like everybody's
Yeah.
on the table for the Rangers, which is great. I love that. Everybody except
Mhm.
Pro, which is, I mean, I would even trade Pro if I had to.
I would
If
And
too.
the
the
right
right,
deal, yeah.
Mhm.
like I said about Kachuk, if Brady Kachuk becomes available, absolutely. Like if you go and offer whatever Pittsburgh was asking for Gensel at the deadline for 1 year left on Gensel, or half a year, pretty much,
Mhm.
and you go like, all right, I'm gonna give you Kakko, Othman, Perot, and Hedel and a first for Kachuk. That's
We will
hard
be
to
there.
say no to, man.
There's not a whole
That would
lot of packages the Rangers would be able to
The
say no
Rangers
to for
definitely would
Kachuk.
not spend all their assets just on one trade. Definitely not. I don't think Drury would do
No, they
that.
wouldn't. But you'd have to think about it, dude. I think Kachuk would be such a difference maker.
He
It's
did
just not
say nothing
happening.
was off the table.
Mhm.
Or just make the pool deeper by getting McGroarty.
Rucker McGroarty. Yeah.
I'm just so on board with that trade idea. It's just like, I don't know. To me, it's
He's
just such a layup to do it. Like, you have so many assets to give. Why not?
Mhm.
he's ready for the NHL, correct? He's NHL ready?
I
Or is
think
he yet to
I
spend another
Tough
year in
call. That's
college?
a tough
I don't
call.
know if he committed or not, but I think he is NHL ready. It's just the problem is the Jets they didn't see a clear path for him to get a lot of playing time. That's why he wanted out in the first place.
So what would the asking price be for McGroarty?
What was it? A first round pick and a prospect, right?
Well, that's not bad.
I don't think it
That's
would
not
even be
bad.
that. Cutter Gauthier is a better prospect and got a second in Drysdale. Like, I don't see it costing more than. I know Kakko's like on the lower tier. I mean, if it's Kakko and the 30th pick, I still am doing that. Like, I'm
Mhm.
taking my chances on McGroarty versus what the 30th pick could be, and then Kakko is what he is. That's kind of just a cap dump at that point.
Is this finally the year of Archibald? I completely missed this.
Matt asking the real questions.
We're using StreamYard. What are the odds that Trouba gets traded? I'd say actually very high.
Not
I
high enough,
I'm
but they
getting
are.
the,
It's a
hockey
layup.
stat miner on, so he might be able to answer this question, but, about arbitration. Lindgren has arbitration. If they go to arbitration with him, it opens a second buyout window. And then the Rangers might be able to do the thing that they did with Goudreau to Trouba.
I don't think they're gonna go that route. I am genuinely believing at this point that they're gonna trade him, maybe even at the draft. Like, from
Yeah.
all that we're hearing, it seems like Detroit wants him. Like, I'm genuinely
Yeah.
starting to get hope and belief that Steve Yzerman wants to bring him in. Like, he started to clear up cap, and on top of that, open up a spot on defense, and Trouba's from there.
Yeah.
Right. They wanted
Stars
him
are kind of aligning.
when Winnipeg traded him to the Rangers. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
if
mean, it
Yzerman was
was
there yet.
between the Rangers and Detroit at that time. It was Ken Holland, I
Ken
believe.
Holland, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think when you this is the issue, right? Is that Trouba does hold the cards till at least July 1st, and on July 1st when he puts in
Yeah.
his no once his no movement turns into a no trade, then you can start making moves. Like if Trouba's salty about the Rangers even considering trading him, he could be a dick and be like, "Oh, you want to trade me? Well, too bad. It's not going to happen at the draft. You're not getting a draft pick. You have to wait until you see a return on me."
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised about anything. I wouldn't be surprised if Drury flips Kakko, even after he just signed him.
Oh,
I
they're
wouldn't
gonna
be
move Kakko.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
I'd be shocked if he came back at this point.
yeah, that's actually that in itself is the surprising thing just to say that because,
Mhm.
like, he just signed the contract.
Yeah,
know?
but like that was like just a 1 year like just to skip arbitration type deal. That
Right.
was, like to tell you the truth, if you like between Kakko, Lindgren, and Trouba, the only one I would expect to say at this point is Lindgren. The Rangers clearly are investing on him, but not that I'm supporting that, but
Mhm.
this is what they're
Let's
into.
get back into potential trade acquisitions. We have another one here. Let me pull this up here. Sir Alex Tuck from I had the wrong picture on there. From the Buffalo Sabres. Let's pull this up here. Nick, you gathered these statistics. I merely just put the graphic together. So
Well, they're good graphics, Joey. Don't beat yourself up about it.
yeah,
We're all
go
proud of you.
ahead.
So the 47 even strength points would be fourth on the Rangers. 3.36 takeaways per 60 would be first on the Rangers, I believe by a lot. I think first right now is like 2.19. I want to say that was VC. If I remember that off the top of my head, that is an insane stat memory. Good job, Nick. Thank you, Nick. You're welcome, Nick. 51.0 shot attempts percentage, seventh on the Rangers. I believe that's second on Buffalo. Again, this is a team that was kind of getting shelled all year. 2.39 points per 60 will be second, only behind Artemi Panarin. The negative net minus per 60 is a little bit concerning. You'd like that to be positive, but him being negative 0.17 is about league average. I think league average is negative 0.25 to positive 0.15. So it's not really that bad. And really the only comparable I could think of here, just in regards to term, age, situation, and all that, would be to break it to Ottawa for a first, second, and third.
Okay. I like Tuck. Certainly at the deadline when his name was floated out there, I was interested, intrigued by that one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I prefer him over Mangiapane.
It's a tough call. I mean, that at that point, you're arguing. Do you want to pay the higher price for a slightly? I don't want to say slightly better player. He's definitely a better player, but not to the point where the price difference is justified.
I prefer Tuck. I just know that it's unrealistic. Like,
Yeah,
Buffalo finally has a guy that wants to play there. That's hard to come by for them. Like, I just don't see them moving Tuck unless things change and he did want out of Buffalo, which I don't see happening.
I think I kind of want like Mangiapane. For me, the Brady Tkachuk is like the pipe dream.
he has to be. He literally has to. I mean,
it's like heaven. Like
it's gonna be Gensel though.
You know Well, I wouldn't be mad about Gensel.
No one would.
Actually, I mean, we might as well just transition into the last one. Yeah, we might. But Patrick Kane versus Jake Gensel. Both free agents. Both hitting the open market. One's a former Ranger. The other was a former future Ranger.
There you go. I like that.
Last year on a healthy hip, Patrick Kane had 47 points, 27 of them at 5-on-5. His shooting percentage at 5-on-5, ridiculous. 15.38% shooting percent. Unbelievable for a playmaker, a guy that just passes. Unreal shot. Yeah, I think he only took 91 shots at 5-on-5 is what I saw online.
He only played 50 odd games, so I mean that 47 points is not an 82 games. It's like 50 something games, which is very impressive.
He's going to be 36, I think.
Yes.
When the season starts, so he's eligible for contract bonuses. So that could help the Rangers cap situation. However, I know he's looking for like a 3 or 4 year deal, I've heard.
Yes.
So that kind of bothers me. If it's a 1 year deal, I'm like very much on board with that, but at the same time, knowing that Gensel is out there, also 2.28 5-on-5 points per 60, which is really, really good.
It's insane.
Awesome. But when you have Gensel out there, who is, I believe the asking price is $8.5 million.
Steal. I would pay him 10.5. I'm not even freaking playing.
I was gonna say, like, there's no way he's only asking for that, or that's all he'll get. Like, if I'm playing on the Xbox, I'm offering him $10 million to make sure I get the guy. Right?
Easily.
Between Pittsburgh and Carolina, he had 30 goals and 77 points. All these stats are between the two teams. I looked on Hockey Reference. 42 5-on-5 points. You know the issue the Rangers have? 5-on-5 scoring. You know the issue that Zibanejad brought up? Passing. Gensel does everything. He's your solution there. 57.1 even strength Corsi for percentage.
Absurd.
Unreal.
Absurd.
Oh my God. What was it? I got to look it up on let me see. I had to pull it up for when he was on Pittsburgh. What is the Corsi? 56.3 at even strength on a bad Pittsburgh team.
I think that's really.
I think it might be. It might. Also 2.5 5-on-5 points per 60. So Jake Gensel, Patrick Kane. The only way the Rangers can get Jake Gensel is if they get rid of Jacob Trouba.
Yeah.
It has to come off. Like, and it's not even like retained salary. All $8 million has to come off because it's not this year that's the problem. It's next year. Because next year, Lafreniere, Miller, and Shesterkin are all free agents.
Unless that cap keeps jumping up, which it looks like it is.
Yeah, but even with that cap going up, it's only going to be what, like $4 million, $3 million next year?
See, yes, but if you could trick the players' agents to giving them the flat dollar amounts and not have them look at percentages, it's not impossible. But if you also look at it through the lens of not next year, but the year after, if they can't get rid of Trouba, you've got Panarin and Trouba coming off the books.
You have Kreider also as a cap casualty option.
Yep, and
Hedl.
Hedl.
I'm looking at
Hedl
Hedl as
no
a cap
trade- yeah.
casualty, man.
No
I've
trade
been saying
protection.
this nonstop on Twitter, YouTube, everywhere. I am so for the idea of shedding Phil Hedl's contract this offseason. Like, and listen, I love the guy and I love the potential he has, but you cannot run the risk of next year going into the season with Phil Hedl as your 3C, and then what? He gets another concussion, God forbid, and Adam Edstrom's your 3C now? Johnny Brodzinski? You cannot be in that spot at all next year. You have to... This is why I've been so on board with the idea of finding a way to get Gord at 50% retained, because if you bring him in as the 3C, you could pencil him in to at least play 70 games, because he does have a couple of injuries himself every now and then. But you could pencil him in comfortably for 70 games, which you don't mind if Brodzinski has to fill in like 10, 12. And then you get a guy that could play up and down the lineup.
Exactly.
Yeah. The other thing is, like, in terms of priorities, the Rangers have to get the top line right wing. That is priority number one. I don't care about 3C. I don't care about 6th, 7th defenseman until they address that. It's been 3 years. It's been 3 years. They need to figure out a solution here. You cannot keep beating a dead horse with this.
If it's Kane or Gensel, either way, I mean, like, it's gonna have me like that. Like, let's be real here. It's gonna have me like that.
Someone get this man a zucchini.
I tweeted out earlier, and I have nothing to back this up other than how I feel. I genuinely feel if the Rangers find a way to get out of this Trouba contract, which is the only way they're in on Gensel, I really get this feeling that they're going to try and get Gensel and Kane. Like, I really feel like they're going to try to land both.
Dude,
it's so realistic. It's nuts.
And
on the first
Kane?
line.
Who?
Kane on the first line.
Yeah.
I would go Gensel, Zibanejad, and Kane.
Yes.
And Kreider could get down on the third line.
Which is not a bad thing for Kreider. I mean, Kreider, and I want to bounce off what Evan said about trading Phil Hedl too. If there was ever a year to do it, it's definitely this year. Hold on.
Kreider, Hedl, Berard. Hello?
Dude, Berard is close
Kreider,
to being ready.
Othman, Kreider, Gord, Cooley.
Yep. But even to build off of that further,
Armia?
This is like the best year to sign a third line center.
Yeah,
There's so many.
Can I pause you for a second? I'm sorry. What is this obsession with Joel Armia? Please.
Oh my God, Joey.
This guy just doesn't know. He's, oh my God, Joseph.
Uncultured.
Joseph.
Can we get you hip to Armia, please?
Yeah, can we get Armia pulled up, bro? What are we doing here?
I give you permission to share your screens.
Yeah, listen. Let me give me a moment here. I'll learn you some knowledge about Armia.
While you're on it,
God,
you got to talk about Eric Robinson after. And I know I cut you off, Nick, so I didn't mean to. I don't know what you were saying before.
Oh, well, we need to talk about Armia first, so I'll go ahead and cut you off.
Okay.
Talk about Armia for a second, all right? This dude's barely freaking playing, all right? He's barely playing. He's a good third-line player. 23 even strength points. 9th on the Rangers. What are we talking about? We're talking about Joel Armia. 1.75 takeaways per 60. 7th on the team. Good defensively. Takes the puck away from the other team. Gives it to your team. Positives. 1.46 points per 60. 8th on the team. 8th. All right, that's including defensemen. So this guy would, at the very least, be one of your top 9 forwards or top 8 forwards in points per 60. That's 5v5. Joey, what about Joel Armia? How about some more? The only bad thing he does is take penalties. Oh, that sucks. Check this out. 1.07 goals per 60. Second on this Rangers team. Okay, Joey. That's my obsession with Joel Armia. He's sick, and you can get him for probably pretty fucking cheap, like cheap, like that jewelry stand at the mall cheap. I digress.
Okay. All right. 23 even strength points for a guy has the time on ice of a third liner. That's insane.
I'm looking also at the evolving hockey chart.
Pull
from
it
this
up.
Year.
I'm taking off my screen share. Get it up, Ev. That's what she said.
Yeah.
God.
I'll get the shit up.
Yep. Get it up. I know it
'Cause
might take a second.
We gotta get Joey hip to
Yes.
Armia.
And it's hip to be a square. Don't be ashamed.
Here. I mean,
Here
what are
we
we
go.
talking
Come on.
about here?
Come on, dude. Where's my zucchini?
Net positive.
Look at this guy. He's a freak. He's sick. He's him.
Kako for Armia and a pick.
Sign me up.
Now he's on board. Look at what we do.
So like this third liner could actually put the puck in the net.
Oh yeah. He can play, but he's literally Jesper fast but better.
Do they have any second rounders?
Not the Rangers.
No. I'm not saying the Rangers. I'm saying Montreal.
Yeah.
Oh, probably. They probably have a
They
lot.
probably have a lot of second rounders, right?
Yeah, but you could probably get him for a mid-round pick. Like he wouldn't cost you.
I know,
He
but
wouldn't.
The
You
thing is,
trade
you'd have
back.
to get him retained though.
Oh, I
You'd
see.
not
Ah,
take his
okay.
entire cap hit.
yeah,
Yeah, I know.
how much is left on the deal?
He's on his last year. He's got 3.4 schmilly for
Yeah,
1
you
year.
You have to cut that in half if you're
Yeah.
getting him.
And Joey, to your point, that's actually a good point you make. If you do trade Barack, they have Colorado's second round pick. So you could probably do the 30th overall pick for Colorado's pick and Joel Armia at half retention.
That works too. No
And, yeah.
Kako, and then use Kako for another trade.
You could
I
use
know-
Cobb for something else.
Vince Mercogliano brought up Ross Colton, and I just want to point
No.
out, like Ross Colton is like,
Please no.
oh, you don't like him?
I just don't get the idea of trading Barkley
From
Goudreau
my
and bringing in Barkley
Yeah.
Goudreau, like a slightly
Yeah.
better Barkley Goudreau.
Especially for
$4
the same
million.
price, you could probably get Matthew Joseph.
Yeah. Matthew Joseph, I would not mind that at all.
That's my
Well,
man.
at the only thing is I like Drury's idea of using the internal replacements. I'm not really a fan of what's on the open market for bottom six help. I would rather play Berard and Offman in the bottom six, Cooley, Rempe, Edstrom, see what they have
Yeah.
there. Then,
Especially if you spend to the
you
but
gotta-
cap.
like
you
think
gotta get
about it.
veterans
I
out there
don't.
for
I haven't liked
PTOs.
any of these guys that the Rangers have brought in free agency the past few years. I
Mhm.
like literally zero of them.
Yeah.
Like Wheeler, a dud. Pitlick, a dud.
Yeah.
Benino, a dud.
Yep.
Right?
No, you make. I agree because the
only
fourth
guy
line
out
helps
of
him
the
that-
past
trash.
like 3-4 years that I've liked is Phil DiGiuseppe.
To
And he
counter
didn't
that,
even
Jimmy
last
Vesey,
that long.
Yeah,
Jimmy
him and-
Vesey
Jimmy
signed-
Vesey, that's it.
That was a sneaky one. There is. I mean, Maddie just brought it up in the chat. Mike Amadio would be my if the Rangers were going to target a fourth liner, it'd be Amadio and Archibald in that order.
Kevin Rooney was
Craig Smith.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
They
Craig Smith,
should
yeah.
have brought in Craig Smith last year, and they should have
Yes.
brought in Danton Heinen when
Oh,
you and I, Nick, we co-drove that bus together.
dude.
And
Didn't
he
we
got a
talk
freaking
about Craig-
PTO, and he was so freaking good last year.
He was excellent. Like he's probably
Craig
going to get
Smith.
paid.
Didn't we talk
Yeah.
about him on last year's
Last year's
offseason
deadline
tra-
stream, the free agency stream.
yeah,
we-
the
we-
free agency stream. I
ad
remember that.
nauseum, dude. Ad
And he was
nauseum.
cheap too, and the Rangers were looking for cheap.
That's
Why are they
why.
not?
That's why I'm pushing my Eric Robinson agenda. Get this guy at least on a
Yeah.
PTO.
All right, you're
That's what
next. You're next, Evan. Explain.
You want me to explain my
Yes,
Eric
I-
Robinson love?
Yes, I
All right.
literally want you to explain the Eric
Stage
Robinson.
is yours.
I'll get the chart pulled up, but all I could say is you put this guy on a winning team, and the guy freaking thrives. The guy's
Yeah.
been on Columbus and Buffalo his entire career,
Ugh.
and
Oof.
Columbus has made the playoffs, I think, like twice
Mm.
in his entire career with him there, and the guy thrives. I think I have to pull up exactly. I'm trying to get the chart up. and
Wait. He's only 29 years old. How has Buffalo made the playoffs twice?
Are you talking about in a span of time?
No,
I
I'm talking
think?
about
Oh, Columbus.
Columbus.
Oh, Columbus.
When he was with Columbus, they made the playoffs.
Oh,
Yeah. So with Columbus, yeah, the guy was a 20-point guy for a good amount of time. Really good defensively too. And I'll pull up his chart too from when he was playing on.
what? How the hell does he put up 31 5-on-5 points?
Because he's goaded.
Because we told everyone.
Isn't he
they
like
didn't
a
wanna listen.
dedicated fourth liner?
No, he's like a third liner.
Here's Robinson's chart from the last time
Wow.
he was playing for a
Mm.
competitive team. This is why I'm making my case here. The guy's underlying numbers this year, even very good stuff. It supports that he should have got way more goals than he did. A guy that, not a lot, but chips in like 10 goals, and a guy that will have probably like a 20-point guy, like the guy that he's been his entire career pretty much. Plays good defensively, can kill penalties, isn't great at it, plays physical, skates like the damn wind, gets it on the forecheck. I'm not asking for the world here. I am asking simply for a PTO. I'm asking for a PTO. I don't need them to sign the contract yet. Give him a PTO.
Yep.
Give him a chance to play on a team that actually knows what a computer is, that knows what winning
Yes.
is, and let this guy thrive. He'll thrive here. I'm telling
Him
you.
and Rempe would be
He's
nuts
from
together.
Belmar.
What'd you say?
He's from Belmar, New Jersey. And he
Well,
played for
yeah.
Princeton. Ooh, Jersey guy.
Yeah, he's a Jersey guy. So
Ooh,
Alright.
okay.
got
He knows-
you more on board.
Yep.
I think I looked at
I was looking to see if he was like from Boston or something so that, Drury could make that connection.
yeah, so not that might ruin the chances, unfortunately.
Mm.
But
1.6 points per 60 at all. Let me see what it was at 5-on-5 in 2020, 2021. 1.3 points per 60. He had 1.3 points per 60 at
That's
5-on-5
ridiculous.
for
That's
Buffalo.
Ridiculously good numbers,
That's
dude.
great. Dude, that's like 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 1920, 2021, 22, 23, and 23, 24. He was above like a full point per 60. Yeah, this
yeah,
he's
and did you
legit.
guys ask for miscellaneous stats? Because I'll give you some.
Yes. Give me
yeah.
it. It's my
Takeaways per
fucking
60,
favorite stats.
1.22. In terms of giveaways per 60,
Favorite stat.
0.40. So takes the puck away more than he gives it away.
Point
Hits per
4.
60. Yeah.
This guy's sick.
He's on board. And then hits per 60, 1.09. I think he plays a little more physical than that, which is weird because I don't understand that. He had 72 hits in 40 games this year. I don't know how it was that low, his hits per 60, but regardless, like I still think that you got to give the guy PTO.
Yes.
Like, you got to bring in some guys on PTO. Why not a guy that has a pretty good chance of being good on a contending team?
You sold me.
Robinson and Armia are both wingers, right? So
Yeah,
how would
correct.
you configure if you add both of those guys? I'll start with you, Evan. How would you configure the bottom six?
I mean, if they brought in Armia, also that. I mean, it also depends.
Don't
on
get
the
me gored.
conversation.
Don't get me
Okay,
gored.
It depends on the conversation, though. Too. Are you talking today's roster, just adding those two?
Yes.
Okay, because I was gonna say that the original way this conversation started was Kane and Gensel both being here,
Mhm.
but right now I would say the bottom six. I mean, you have to figure they're gonna pencil Kako in as of today, at least in the top six. So
Okay.
you'd probably look at Cooley sticking on that third line, and then you'd probably have Hedel down the middle, and then Armia on the wing, maybe, and then
Cooley,
Edstrom-
Hedel, Armia. Okay.
yeah, and
It's
then
not a
your
bad move, actually.
fourth line, I guess Edstrom down the middle.
I already like that because I
And
like
then-
Edstrom.
I guess VC and Robinson on the wings, probably.
Could work.
Rempe is the 13th forward.
I think
mean,
Rempe
I
and
think-
VC are probably interchangeable.
I think even Robinson could be the 13th forward. You just need
Mm.
guys that are going to give you respectable minutes and respectable games. Like, I don't hate the idea of actually being smart and using some load management throughout the season. I know creativity and the Rangers don't go well, but Why not change the philosophy a bit this year, and why
Mhm.
not actually load manage these guys early and rotate your 13th forwards in so you're not burning guys out by like January, and then the All-Star break, you're not dying for it as badly.
Okay. So Robinson is a free agent. Armia is not. He's got 1 year left on his deal.
Correct.
Okay, so you
Armia would
guys
be a
give me
trade.
one trade asset or one trade candidate and one free agent acquisition. Robinson, I would not have picked that up on Cap Friendly. Like I was going through you guys, bravo, you guys did your homework, like the digging that you had to do for that.
Someone's got to.
Right. Like I aside from Victor Arvidsson, I'm not sold on top 9 third line players.
I'm not even a big
No.
Arvidsson guy. Am I the
I'm
only one
not
there?
yeah, I'm not either because
Yeah.
of the
I'm not.
salary.
Yeah, I'm not
And
fully
the
on
age.
board.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Like
I
if you
did have
give me
another bargain
Arvidsson
bin
from
guy,
now,
but we won't
then
go
yeah.
there.
But like I said before, I want to see like what Berard and Othman could do.
They're
But-
gonna get games. I think honestly, going into this preseason, no matter what shakes out, let's just play pretend. Let's say there's no acquisitions that come in at all. At the very least, in the
Be a
bottom
nightmare.
6, I'm telling you, you're gonna see. This is who I fully expect to be competing for a full-time bottom 6 spot in the preseason. Hold on, pull up the roster, make sure I have everything right here because I don't want to muss
Tim
anything up.
Gettinger.
Robinson.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying even if nobody's signed,
No,
I'm
know.
expecting Rempe, VC, Braz, and then you go to the minors: Berard, Kemlar, Othman, Korzak. Like Sakura's not gonna make it, but Sakura's gonna be in there competing. Belzile, Bleed. You still have Nash for another year. Lacardio. Like
This
the
is
Rangers have a lot of
Sakura's
guys.
This is going to be Sakura's first preseason, isn't it?
He was our
no,
last preseason.
Was
yeah,
he?
but he just got
He
cut
cut-
early.
Yeah.
I think he
We
played
didn't
the
see-
first game though.
We didn't
Yes,
see
he
too
did.
much of him.
Yeah, he played that game. I think the game in Boston is when
Yes.
he played.
He didn't play bad either. He just wasn't ready. But you already have a lot of guys that are in the mix trying to make a spot. I think bringing in a few veterans also fighting for a spot is only going to elevate the young guys and make them play even harder.
Which is
So
why Nick Patan extension is
Yes.
a must.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember you guys were saying about at the
He's
deadline that Nick
excellent.
Patan, that AHL fodder, like that's good because you want the AHL team to keep doing well. So
Yeah,
like
dude.
even worst case scenario, like the veteran guy loses. Worst case scenario for the veteran, he loses out. He goes to the AHL, helps them become a good team.
Right.
You have a good season, you know.
Or another team signs him off a PTO. Like no matter what, I mean, just because you sign a PTO with one NHL team doesn't mean you're stuck with that team. There's been plenty of times where a player has been on a PTO with one team and then signs a contract with another team. All the PTO is you're essentially just playing for that team on a tryout. You're not contractually obligated to only negotiate with them.
That's what happened with Austin Rushoff, former Rangers
Yes.
prospect. He was with
Yes.
Columbus, and then I think they met. Chris Drury met him at a coffee shop, or people from the Rangers met him at a coffee shop. He was telling us about that.
Devin Didio met. I mean, he talked about it when we
Yeah.
interviewed him. He was on an ATO with Columbus, played with them in Traverse City, and then the Wolfpack signed him.
Yep. Yeah, so there's options here for the Rangers. I mean, let's shift to now.
Jack
Speaking
Harlow.
of prospects, Matthew Robertson. I feel like it's his time.
Yeah, if it's not
This is his last chance.
now,
This is
when
it.
is
Last
it ever
chance.
gonna be?
This is it.
He needs to win at the very least the 7th defenseman spot this year, and I
Yeah.
don't even know if he's gonna do that because you already have a lot of guys that are gonna compete. You already have Mackey who's there, Harper, and we know how this organization is with picking veterans.
Yep.
And then on top of that, you have
Is
Jones
Mac
is gonna
Hollowell
cement
still
himself.
under contract?
No, but
No. But he's
I
an
wouldn't
RFA
be-
though.
I
He
wouldn't be
was
shocked
good in
if they keep him.
preseason last year. I remember.
That's
And,
another guy
great.
too. Yeah, and
Connor
then
Mackey was good. I liked him.
who knows if they're gonna keep Ruedel around as a 7th
Mhm.
defenseman. You have Jones, who I think is gonna win that roster spot for the
Oh,
6th defenseman.
absolutely. Yeah, no,
God, I
he,
pray.
This is the time for him. If you're not gonna, I'll say this with Robertson: if you're not gonna give him a roster spot this year, then just let it go and trade the guy for picks. Just
Yeah.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
accept defeat.
Anything.
Get a third or fourth, whatever price you could get. Let him go play somewhere else. Don't do what you did with Ty Emberson and lose the guy
No.
for nothing.
Asset management.
Stupid, dude. Especially because Emberson fucking ended up just like we all knew he would. Was an NHL defenseman.
Yeah.
And had a good year for San Jose.
They got Emberson in the deal for Nemeth, didn't they?
Yeah, that was like the one thing we were able to hang our hat on with that, and then they just pissed it away.
Just like goodbye. Meanwhile, he very easily could have been our 7th defenseman going into the season last
He
year.
was analytically the Sharks' best defenseman last year.
Insane.
That's crazy.
And I mean, listen, he would have never gotten those minutes with the Rangers, but he at the very least had the floor of being a 7th NHL defenseman. Your Steven Kampfers that the Rangers had, like the Hunwicks, like guys that just kind of fit in. Like he would have, like he could have played. He was a competent and will be a competent NHL defenseman. The dude, when the Rangers were rotating 44s every single year, Steve Eminger.
Wish.com Justin Falk.
Oh, dude. But Stu Bickle. But like it's just like Evan said, don't lose him for nothing. Like if if you don't think he has a chance to go into this preseason, trade him now. Don't even give him the shot.
Do you guys remember when the Rangers had so many right-handed defensemen like in the pipeline and it looked like they were never going to run out of them? It's looking like they're running. It looks like they're running out of them right now.
Yeah, if only they didn't trade that first round pick they got for Nils.
Yeah, that's why I've been so vocal that they need to draft a defenseman at 30, or if they trade back for 2 seconds, I wouldn't even be against them drafting 2 defensemen. Like it is that thin the pipeline. Like you have
you can't draft. Hang on a second, you can't draft 2 defense. They have no centers. Also, they have to draft a center too. Unless this draft is so piss poor down the middle that you have to take 2 defensemen. It is.
This is like, not a strong draft.
That's why I'm saying that too. Like this is a strong defensive class. Like why not? Like, or at least it's deep in terms of guys that are gonna reach the NHL. That's why I'm not against the idea, because you have Victor Mancini and
that's pretty much
it. And that's your defensive prospects right now, outside of Robertson, who maybe makes it. And I'm not counting on Brandon Scanlon to be anything. So
he got 1 game this year, right?
Yeah, and it was terrible.
It was bad.
He was not good. Yeah, they have McConnell Barker as a center.
VMB.
Bottom. He's like a. I would see.
I don't see him
at the same time, Joey. Like if they draft a center, none of these guys that they would draft in the second round, late first round, would be a top 6 center to begin with. Like if they did draft one, it's probably going to be a guy that at most has the ceiling to be a 3C, which it's not like.
Yeah, but you never know with those things. Like you could.
It's hard to predict.
Sure, but at the same time, like you already have this marriage with Zibanejad and Trocheck for so long that it's like, I don't know. And then the center free agent classes are so deep coming up.
Dude, this one right here is deep enough. This, I guess I'm saying,
like,
dude.
You have Stamkos. Reinhardt is he still technically a center still?
Yes. He doesn't play center, but he can. But the biggest center, I think the most important center in this free agent class that people are sleeping on is Chandler Stevenson.
Oh yes. I would. Dude, if that's a third line, that's a real third line. Oh my gosh! Like the year they won the cup, like last year, that team was so deep down the middle. Pause.
I don't know if he's even realistic. I think he's like commanding like 5-6 million.
Yeah,
he's gonna want
can't
2
give that.
minutes.
No, you can't. That's like a Danault. Like, isn't that what Danault got in free agency?
5.5.
Yeah,
but he plays second line time.
Yeah,
right?
but if the Rangers, third line. But if the Rangers would have gotten Danault, we wouldn't have gotten Trocheck. So I'm kind of grateful we didn't get Danault. But Danault is sick.
Yeah, I remember I didn't want the Rangers to give him the bag because I knew he would be like. I didn't look at him as a second line guy. I looked at him as a third line guy. But he has put up points.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't necessarily need like a rock star, superstar third line center. If you have good, like if it does work out to where, and let's just play pretend that the Rangers top 6 is so good that Kreider does get bumped down to the third line wing spot, and then on the right flank is an Armia, is Cooley, or is Altman. You don't necessarily need the strongest third line center in the world because your wingers are strong too. You can plug and chug a Danton Heinen that you could get in free agency, or a Mike Amadio, maybe Berard slots in. Like there's plenty of other I don't know. I feel like the center, like, dude, the Chicago Blackhawks won a Stanley Cup with Michael Handzus as their second line center. We don't need to look.
That.
We don't need to look too deep into the whole third line center thing. And if it really becomes that big of an issue, I'm sure there'll be one available at the trade deadline.
Their wings were stacked. They had Kane, they had Hossa, Patrick Sharp.
Exactly. You know, like, I think people like the center ice position is a very, very important position, but you don't need an all-star at every single.
But are the Rangers wings that good on that level? I don't know, man.
If Kreider's your third line left winger, I know it's not ideal for what you're paying him, but if your top six is so good that Kreider's your third line left winger, and you've got a guy that can move well on the right side, you can have an average 3C and be okay because you can still upgrade at the deadline.
They bring back Kane. If they bring back Kane, you got to go with that Kreider, Trocheck, Kane line again.
Oh, dude,
I like that. Wouldn't be a bad idea either. I like that.
Not at all.
A lot, but
I like that a lot.
I mean, because that's why though it goes back to the conversation.
Kreider, Trocheck, anybody honestly, because Kreider and Trocheck play such a similar style.
Play excellent together.
Excellent. Yeah, I remember that. Like that
gets the physicality out of them.
Yes, and Panarin and Zibanejad, like they didn't score. I don't remember them scoring as many goals together, but I mean, if you give them enough time, you know, maybe Zibanejad starts ripping the shots. I don't know.
Well, dude, especially if he's on with Lafreniere and Panarin, which would end up what would be the case.
Like if Panarin played with Zibanejad this year, like maybe the fact that Panarin shot the puck so many times would have rubbed off on Zibanejad. I don't know. Probably not, but I'm just spitballing here.
With this entire convo, though, it goes back to what we were talking about, that they're spending too much down the center position, and that's why I'm not against the idea of moving Hedl. Like, you gotta strengthen your wings more. And I know that deep center cores can help win you cups, but it's just too much, which that's also part of why they had to move Gaudreau. There's just, you cannot be spending that much on your centers.
100%.
I'm interested to see what they do defensive, like their 5th, 6th, 7th D spots. Like I don't know.
They're interested in Sean Walker.
Yeah, that's a big one.
He was good this year.
Carrier should be option. In my opinion, Carrier should be the guy you throw everything at, number one. But Walker's not a terrible
have any
alternative.
Numbers on him?
I think
all I know is he moves the freaking puck well, and
he's big, right?
I think he's smaller, actually.
Yeah, he just moves well. He defends well. He's kind of like Adam Fox light. He's a poor man's Adam Fox.
Yeah,
but a way better skater.
Ooh, small guy.
So way better skater.
I say 5'11", and like that's big to me, but
yeah,
and like for hockey players, that's small.
I have his all 3 zones card pulled up right now, and yeah, he's really good in terms of defending zone entries. He's really good as well with zone exits.
The Mets game is back on, and they're up 7-0.
Wow, they actually resumed that game?
Yeah, they ended up.
Why?
Dude, they were in rain delay for what, 3 hours?
My gosh. From the time I came home till now, pretty much.
Jesus, dude.
You have his all 3 zones card?
Yeah.
Pull it up. I'll give my buddy Corey Schneider some love.
I'll get it up in a second.
Joey's TV's still delayed by 47 years. It's actually 50 years.
Joey's watching fucking Ron Duguay buzz up the fucking wing. We're talking about the 2024 draft.
John Davidson just made a save. Did you guys see that? JD made a save.
God almighty.
This is
there we go.
Alex Carrier. Carrier. Ooh. Okay.
Damn,
all right. Carries against. Yeah, the zone entry. Yeah, he's good. What about exits? Let's see.
Dude, it's literally excellent. And you can't even look at the forechecking part and be mad. He's a fucking defenseman. He's not forechecking. And the rebounds created, could it be better? Sure, but everything else completely outweighs that.
These stats are so cool. I love these. Like it's so in depth.
Yeah.
That's why these are my favorite to use because of how in depth it is.
Yeah. So the biggest one here, like defensively, is stellar.
Yeah.
What is this? 1.2 chances against per 60. Like that's good. That's like he's preventing it. Like no one gets through him. Like how Forsling was playing. I'm not
I
saying
want.
he's like Forsling. I'm just saying like that's how Forsling.
I'm
You know,
curious what
for
sticks
the
out to you
people at
guys the
home.
most. Which one? Which one's? I'll tell you what sticks out to me most, but I want you guys to guess. What do you think sticks out the most for me?
Entries with chances per 60.
That, but no, there's one I like a little bit more.
Let me see. Something with giveaways
Exit
or
offer
takeaways.
Travels.
No, it's no.
Successful exit.
Failed exits.
No. How about that deflection assist per 60? This guy is putting pucks towards the net in prime spots for deflections. And what are the Rangers scoring? A
Yeah.
lot of goals off of his deflections. You got a
didn't even
guy
think
that
of that,
can
yeah.
wire pucks at 5v5 from the point and put him in. I mean, that dude, if his deflections per 60 is that high, and let's say for some reason he's playing first pair with Fox and he's taking those kinds of shots, dude. I mean,
I like this.
you're talking about a guy that you signed for $4 million a year. It might not even have to cost that much for X amount of years, and he could be a 50, 60 point defenseman if he's shooting that deflections like that.
And
He's
I cannot
right-handed.
understand the amount
He's
of people
right-handed.
because he's probably going to get a 4 or 5 year deal. I can't understand the people that are like, you can't sign a defenseman to a 4 or 5 year deal like this. And it's like,
How?
no, a defenseman like this, yes, you can. It's just that we all have Mark Stahl, Dan Girardi, soon to be Ryan Lindgren hangover, and we're used to defenseman contracts aging poorly. A guy like Carrier's game is not like it's not going to teeter off as bad as those guys.
I figured he was going to be more of a defensive guy. He's actually really good offensively too.
You know who this? You know who this?
Solid two-way game here.
You know who this is right here? This is the Rangers' ability to make up for not re-signing Anton Stroman in 2014.
Oh,
2015.
that's what I was just thinking about that the other day. Like, where's our Klein? Where's our Stroman? Like,
here you go, right here. You're like, here's your opportunity. Don't fucking blow it. Especially this guy's.
They're gonna blow it.
Oh yeah, they're gonna blow it. But here's an opportunity. Especially if Trouba's gone, you have a spot open on the right side, dude. You're not gonna get a better chance on this. So this is a guy you sign for cheap and he get high upside.
What is he asking for? What's the asking price?
What was it, Evan? Was it even over $3 million?
Let me check the evolving hockey projection because they have all the projections.
God, man. If it starts with a 3.
I think it was like 4 something, but
that's fine.
My idea was, why don't you go with the idea of stretching out stretching out the term so you could lower the AAV a bit. So instead of 4 years, you give him 5 years, and then you could lower it to like 3 point something. And again, I don't think it's the worst thing to get. Yeah, the guy's 27. I don't think giving a 5-year deal. Exactly, yeah. He's projected to get 4 by 4.3. Why don't you just lower that to 3.5 and give him a 5th year?
5.
The guy's 27 years old. It's not like you're giving a 29, 30-year-old defenseman a 5-year deal. Like we're talking about a 27-year-old defenseman here.
Exactly. That one that doesn't take very many hits.
Trade protection, maybe. I would do like the last year. I don't know if you could structure contracts this way, but the last year of the deal, you can't have any trade protection.
Yeah, I agree. But no, this would be I mean, dude, he's not playing like risky hockey. Like he's not getting.
They would be able to do this too. Like the Rangers would have cap space this offseason even if they sign Gensel. Like I overextended and I was like, all right, let's say the Rangers like go above and beyond what Gensel's asking for and offer him $9.5 million. And then they get rid of Trouba and Kakko. That's $12.4 million off the books. So you get Gensel at 9.5. This guy at, what did you guys say?
3.5 for 5 years. If you could lower the AAV,
so that's $13 million. And then let's say Lindgren, you bring him back for 1 year for $4 million, and Schneider is locked up. Let's say 5 times 4. So that's $8 million. So what did I say? $13 million between those first 3 guys. That's $21 million.
Joey, can you put on a chef hat because you are cooking?
Yeah. The Rangers will have enough money. And I would rather do this and bring up all the young guys than go after.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys, but I would rather do that than like if
it was I agree.
But like you could still bring in Robinson if he's a PTO and if he signs for cheap, like league minimum or whatever, like Veezy's contract. That's fine.
His options. Jack
I
Rolla.
was saying this too. If they were to move on from Ryan Lindgren, which I would love for them to do, I don't hate the idea too of trading for his defensive partner from Nashville,
Mm-mm.
bringing in Lazon, get some
Dude,
physicality back there.
Carrier and bring
there
in
you go.
Lazon.
If there's ever any concern about the Rangers' physicality on defense, Lazon would solve all that.
Trouba for Carrier's rights and Lazon. And
Sum you up.
The
WWBT.
only issue is I don't feel comfortable with your left side being Miller, Jones, Lazon. I don't feel comfortable with that.
Be a little tough.
Yeah, I don't love that idea, but outside of that, I mean, like I just think that, like you said, Nick, this is a guy they have to get above all on
the
defense.
Yankees power play. I mean, Judge struck again.
Jesus, of course you fucking did.
Joey's 50 years behind here.
Well, I have Nick's cheat code to cable.
Attaboy. Proud of you.
It's worth it. Hey, have fun over there 50 years in the future paying $200 million a month for cable. I'm over here spending $1 a month. I'm like,
Attaboy,
I'm
Joey.
literally back in time. Like,
Attaboy,
gas is
Joey.
11 cents a gallon here. That's me.
My.
Thanks to Nick.
But dude, this is like the perfect offseason if you're gonna make big changes to your organization. This is the offseason to do it because of how many really good middle six, bottom six free agents are at forward. There's so many good defensemen. There's good goalies. There's good guys available for trade. This is the perfect year for a team that needs to retool. This is to tell you the truth. I mean, I'm trying to think, guys. We've been doing this for the past few years together now. Has there been an off season where we had so many different targets to talk about? Evan, you had that list you sent in the group chat the other day. It's like 50 players long. I mean, I can't remember the last time there was this many.
The only things that I could remember from the past few off seasons, well, 2021, like when Drury first took over, was feeling sad about Buchnevich being traded, and then Jack Eichel.
Yeah,
and then the following year was just. And then that was the offseason that Dano was out there.
Yeah, but that was pretty much it. Like, this
then the following year was Kachuk.
Deep. Yeah.
The only thing with that offseason is that 2000, like the one before 2021-22, Tampa's entire third line was available. Like those were the targets for everyone.
Yes, that was the last
Tampa's
one.
third line.
Tampa's third line. That's it. And Benino.
Here, let's just do this much, right? I want you guys to guess how many players in this free agency class average half a point a game or better.
25.
31.
I was gonna say I'll take the over.
31 players average half a point a game or more, and then there's add two more guys that were at 0.49. If you want to go 0.4 and above, there's 43. I mean, dude, if you have players that are scoring in 40% of the games that you play, that's insane. And
there's a lot of scoring, but it's just the depth for me was like, I don't like.
Yeah, I mean the fourth line thing,
but I don't feel comfortable paying a third or fourth line guy $3 or $4 million. We just did it with Goudreau.
Yeah, I agree, but I think there's other players available that are just as good. Like that you could get for cheaper.
The top of the class is great. Like Toffoli, you got Arvidsson. Like there's guys
Reinhardt,
like
Stamkos,
Stevenson, Stamkos,
Reinhardt,
Taravainen, right? Is he a UFA? I think
Taravainen, yeah.
Yep, Chandler Stevenson, Adam Henrique, David Perron, Anthony Mantha, Max Domi, Elise
Lindholm,
Anthony Duclair, Daniel Sprong, Tyler Bertuzzi, James Van Riemsdyk, Jack Roslovic, Dakota Joshua, dude, Brandon Montour, Travis Boyd, Jake DeBrusk, Warren Fogle, Chicka, Max Pacioretty, Dan Heinen, Jason Zucker, Tyler Johnson, Stefan Nason. It's God, you guys are so young. It's not even funny. You never saw Superbad?
Oh yeah,
Fogle.
It's been a while.
So, Jordan Martinook, the Wheel Deal, Adam Wenberg.
I would love Dakota Joshua at the right price.
Joshua would be
Adam Wenberg,
money. Mike Amadio, Mike Hoffman, Tomas Tatar, Nick Patan, Okposo, Maroon, Sam Lafferty, Kasperi. I mean, I could go Victor Olofsson, Jacob Vrana, Anthony Beauvillier, Alexander Barabanov, like Colin Black. Like there is a Craig Smith, Albay Kubel. I could go on for on and on and on.
In my head, I know the cap jumped. But how the actual fuck are all these guys getting paid?
Dude, you know what I mean?
Like, how are they getting paid? There's just not enough cap space for teams to
There's
pay
not
these
enough
guys what
roster
they want.
spots.
unless they sign for like 1 year with like a shitty team that needs to like a severance
the
package.
floor.
Remember what Johnny used to do with
Yep.
with his rebuilding teams?
Yep.
Let me get the worst player. Oh my gosh, Sammy Kapanen. I'm
Yep.
gonna give you 1 year, $7 million. Oh,
Yep.
Todd Bertuzzi,
Can we
$7
just-
million, but you have to give it to who is the guy he sucker punched? I forget.
Oh.
You know who I'm talking about.
Either way, could the NHL
Yeah.
just stop with this? Like, could we just switch to a luxury tax system for
have
fuck's
to.
sakes? Like,
You have to.
like there's
Steve
it's
Moore.
just stupid. It's just so stupid. Just switch to a luxury tax system.
Literally, you're doing nothing but hurting the players. And dude, like, I know they're gonna be like, well, it's not fair for the low income teams. Oh, here's an idea: spend money on better players, and fucking fans will spend money on your team. You ever think about that? Quit being so fucking cheap.
Columbus sells out like
it's so
every
fair,
game.
because it's so fair that all these no state income tax teams get to budget spend because of the fact that guys will sign there cheaper.
Right, it's not
because
fair.
of it.
The only point I can see against it that I do kind of agree with is, yeah, if we're already complaining about ticket prices now, imagine if the Rangers were fucking spending $150 million a season, which fine, but I don't know, dude.
I mean, the Knicks spend. The Knicks probably spend more than the Rangers do, and it's like half the roster size.
Yeah.
And tickets aren't even that expensive. Like, I don't know.
Valid as fuck, actually.
It's just so ridiculous that we're doing this. Like, there's just not enough cap space for these guys to sign. Then next year you have Draisaitl, Rantanen, and Crosby as the top 3 free agents.
What?
From point wise, Marner's a free agent. Bouchard's a free agent. I think he's an RFA though.
Yeah, RFA.
Hedman is a free agent. Besser, Verhaeghe, Konechny,
Next year?
Marchand, Tavares, Giroux. That's next year's free agent class.
That's insane.
Where are teams finding the money to get these guys? And then if you want to go even more ape shit, I'll fast forward you to 2026-27 when you got McDavid leading the class.
Yeah.
You got Panarin there. You got Kaprizov, Robertson, Kempe, Kopitar, Eichel, Malkin, and Ovi. Gonna be old at that point. Duke. The Rangers will bring him back because he'll be 38. Schmaltz, Kyle Connor.
Oh my god.
Like, Alex Tuck.
Yeah,
These are the classes we're talking about. Like, where's
And
the money coming from?
Yeah, the cap is only going up like $3-4 million. It's not.
Yeah, it's going up to like 92, 93. Congratulations, you got half of a fourth liner right there.
Yep.
Like, what are we talking about
You
here?
got half of a
shit.
fourth liner.
Yeah, it's so fucking dumb.
When's the collective bargaining agreement up?
I think actually in like 2-3 years.
They gotta renegotiate this. This is ridiculous, man. What is it? The last 5-6 years, like the conference final representatives have been like Florida every single time.
Yeah, which honestly good for them. They're taking advantage of it, but there's just got to be a more reasonable way to go about this. There has to be.
After 25-26, the CBA.
So literally the year after next.
Yeah. So, I of course conveniently when McDavid's about to be a free agent, it's up. Which great news for him, because if they negotiate something, that's great for him. We're gonna see a strike though. Like it's
about guaranteed.
It's honestly obvious we're gonna see.
Yeah, we're gonna need a lot more chase cards.
We're gonna need a lot more chase cards for sure. But I think it's a layup that we're about to see a lockout again, because there's no way the owners are gonna budge on this. There's no way the players are gonna want to budge on this.
I need to overhaul the goalie interference. I need an overhaul to everything. I need to overhaul.
Yeah, they're not gonna be talking about that. They're gonna be talking about dolls.
Into the net. I need an overhaul to player tracking. I need to overhaul to ESPN's production. You see, how did they miss Barkov lifting the Stanley Cup? 1 second he's there, he skates off, and the camera is literally just stuck. My boy just froze.
TNT should be the presenter of the NHL, not ESPN.
They're terrible.
It's so bad.
It's embarrassing.
It's not even entertaining, dude.
It's
in my entry-level internship, I could track better with the camera, and I barely used the camera before. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe that they did that.
So bad.
Unreal. No wonder I watched Sportsnet like most of the games. I just wanted to watch Game 7 like on American television.
If it's not on TNT, I'm not watching it, bro. I'll watch the Canadian broadcast.
Kenny Albert, I love him. When he calls the Rangers on national TV, he sounds a lot different than the way he sounds calling the Rangers on the radio. He's a great announcer, but he holds back when he's calling the Rangers on national TV. Every other team, though, he's amazing for.
I promise you, when Sam Rosen retires, Kenny's taking that spot.
100%.
That's absolutely Then they got to put Don on full time.
Oh, dude, I love.
You wouldn't be able to tell that Don was I would have to tell you that Don was a Devils fan. You wouldn't know. You would think he was a Rangers fan, like a lifelong Rangers fan, the way he calls the games. But no, he was a Devils fan.
Insane.
A New Jersey Devils fan. And man, he's incredible. Yeah, he's
Can I go back to my point for a second? I want you guys to guess how much the Knicks are spending today, as of today, on their roster.
Fuck, dude.
Everything.
125 million.
More.
150.
I'll say 175 million.
Close. 170 million. About 170 million on their roster. And it's like half the size of a quarter even of an NHL roster, because you have to remember, the G League guys aren't making like the salary AHL guys are making, so it's ridiculous.
It's all about where the money comes in. Like, basketball is a vastly more popular sport.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with that. It's just like, but the margin between the two is so wide that it's
they got to figure out a better system to like allocate the money and stuff. Like having a cap and stuff it's too, like, the fact that you have to trade a player because you don't have enough space. Like, everybody has money, but you just don't have enough space. I think that's ridiculous.
That's why I forgot if it was you, Nick, or Steven that brought it up, that it's a player that you draft, that you sign.
Steven.
It should be, what was it? Like, he said like 25% less on the cap, their contract. Yeah. You still pay them like Kreider per se. He still gets 6.5, but you take like 25% off. You get a discount on your cap hit because he's a homegrown talent.
Right. Like, they're still getting paid their money. Like, I don't understand. Right. Yeah, I like that. That's a nice little solution there. Like, it's all just on a technicality there.
Yeah.
Like,
this just got to be a better way to do it.
I think like a hard cap. Like, you got to soften it a little bit.
I think if you do a luxury tax where like I would do this, right? If you do a luxury tax, whereas let's say you go $1 million over, all right, your penalties, you pay to the league exactly how much you went over, and then let's say that money's distributed to the bottom 10 teams every year in revenue, and that money's distributed like that. So let's say the Rangers go 50 million over, 50 million goes to the league, and that's then evenly distributed or distributed by percentages to the bottom 10 teams in revenue.
All right, Arizona.
Like, but you know what I mean? Like, there's ways we could make this work to where it would benefit the players and the teams. Like, dude, I don't think Dolan would give a fuck if the Rangers spent maybe 100 million is a little egregious, but like if the Rangers went 50 million over,
spend that much on the Knicks.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he give a fuck.
Dolan will spend. He'll spend. You have to.
And if he won't, someone will buy the team that will.
Yeah, that's my thing that annoys me. It's like, if you're a billionaire and you don't want to spend money, then why are you owning a team?
Okay, what's even the point?
Like, I love what Steve Cohen is doing for the Mets. Like, I love it because he's constantly doing he's pumping money into the team. Like, he's
clearly money has not stopped him.
Damn hardest, even when the team sucks, to get people in the building.
Yep.
I love that because he's a Mets fan. Like,
all the renovations they're doing, the Citi Field Park itself, everything they're doing in the parking lot. Like, this guy is investing. And he is investing.
And then I look at a team like Arizona and I feel so bad for their fans because they're just not enough effort whatsoever into getting that team there. I saw so many people post about how sad they were that the team was leaving, like pictures of of them going to the games and stuff with their kids and, crying that they're leaving and stuff, that's terrible. Now they're not gonna be there, like, unless
That's more Morello's fault than anything else, dude. That guy
well,
had
yeah, that's
every
what I
like, he
mean, like,
fucking blew it. That guy's a jerk off.
I'm sure someone will with enough money that cares enough about that team, about
Yeah.
Arizona hockey will buy
Mhm.
them one day. Maybe not in the near future, but, like, some point in the future,
Yes.
let's just say.
So get back to the point though. That's why they need to keep the cap floor too. If they did go with this.
The cap floor is low key saving the Rangers. It's
Yeah.
saving all these teams, to be honest with you.
They
They
should
have to-
honestly
They
they
have
should
to keep
raise
it.
the cap floor. They should probably fucking raise it because there's no dude. What is the cap floor? It should be is it 28
It's
million in
65
cap?
million, I think.
So would that what would that leave you at 20 million in cap space?
23.
That's fucking absurd.
Yeah. So, or make a soft floor too. You don't get your
Yeah.
fucking revenue if you don't spend.
Yep, I agree.
You want your
I agree.
revenue? Spend
I
money.
like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Look at-
The big thing is you can't make it performance based. If you make it
And
like
that would reduce tanking too. Because then
100%.
you would have
Yeah.
to you can't just put a whole roster of just kids out there. You have to put in some veterans. Like at the very least, you have to keep them on the roster. You have to bench the veterans if you're gonna tank.
The hardest thing though, I mean, and the biggest trend in the league right now is guys not wanting to go play for Canadian teams. That seems to be especially specifically kids
Yeah.
that are just getting drafted.
Is it because of taxes? Like what's the deal?
Dude, it's
This is-
fucking cold.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
People
it's
just watch
cold.
people just watch the Vegas Golden Knights and then Florida Panthers win the Stanley Cups and then party on the beach. They watch the Tampa Bay Lightning party on the beach for 2 years in a row. Like that's what people want to do. They want to live in like warm areas and I can't fucking blame them.
Edmonton was so close. They proved me like so wrong. I thought
They
that trip was over in 5. And then
Dude.
McDavid made that ridiculous play in game 5
Mhm.
on the power play. I think it was on the power play to Perry. And I'm like,
Yeah,
this motherfucker's going to 6.
yeah, he wore a
This
backpack.
this thing, I was like, this series is going to 7.
Yeah, he kind of wore a backpack.
Yeah, and then game 6 and 7, he didn't do anything. But I mean, how did you guys feel about McDavid getting the Conn Smythe, even though
Loved
they
it. No one else deserved it.
you
More.
loved it?
I
Yeah,
loved
I
it.
loved it too. Like, why?
I don't
Best
know,
player in
man.
the playoffs.
shouldn't
It's,
have
it's
been.
for the
At first, I,
best
like,
player in the
hated-
playoffs.
You know what I hated about it is the fact that they did the presentation like right after they lost in like that fashion. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you think
Yeah.
McDavid cares?
I mean, I'm sure he cares, but I'm sure he would have cared more if he won the cup.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I just like I don't know. He seems like a kind of guy. He'll get another shot.
Yeah, I
is it
don't
with the
think-
Oilers? I don't know.
I think he'll get another shot. Like he'll be back for sure. I don't know about the Oilers, but he for sure will be back.
The Oilers have a lot of work to do in the offseason. They are. I don't know. I still think it was kind of a miracle run that they made it that far. Dallas completely and utterly shit the bed. Evan, I think it was you that said it. It was like, dude, just fucking what's his name? It was a fucking jinx behind the bench.
Who?
Pete DeBoer.
Oh yeah, he is.
He's a choke artist.
Yeah, he's a
I've said this. Every team he goes to, he can get you to
Yep.
the thing.
The conference
But then-
finals, and that's it. Yeah, dude. Like I'm telling you right now, like that Dallas team, there was not a single team in the league deeper than that Dallas team, and that goes for Florida too.
How
And-
did they lose that?
Dude, they lost it convincingly too. Let's not get it
They had
twisted.
the better goalie. They had
Better
better
everything.
everything.
Better everything.
Everything. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Mm-mm.
Because Pete DeBoer can get you there. He can't get you over there.
Exactly.
The last question that I had, we didn't get to talk about it. How do you guys feel about Zadorov?
Would love adding him. I don't know. Like
Someone's
to
gonna
me,
overpay him.
Yeah, he's gonna get overpaid. 2, I don't know. I still prefer Carrier.
Yeah.
I love those
I
stats,
listen.
like,
I
about
would
Harriet.
love if they could somehow get both and then pair them
Yeah.
together and get Ryan Lindgren's happy ass out of town. But that's not gonna happen. So
that's
I'm
your,
not gonna
your
get greedy.
so
and
that's
I'm
your
gonna-
6 your 6 your third pair. Carrier.
I would probably make it the second pair, and then just Jones Schneider your third pair.
Yeah.
Miller Fox top pair.
Robertson, 7th defenseman, or whoever it is, Mackey,
Yeah.
Harper,
Chad
whatever,
Weedle.
Chad Verweedle,
Chad the Dad.
Justin Falk.
Anyone. Look.
Stu Bickle
Jeff
here
White.
wants to play.
Jeff
Jeff
Boywick is coming
Boywick.
out. He's coming out of retirement.
I hear
Big
Rob
six.
O'Gara's available. Hey,
Nick
Hayek
Bolden's
wants
still
to come
around.
back.
Yeah.
Hayek wants to come back
Yeah,
to North America.
Hayek has unfinished business with the Rangers.
Even though he was like an 8th defenseman on his team in the
Bruh.
Czech, like, and he wants to come back.
God almighty, he had us all fooled.
Yeah, I remember like his first few games
His
when he wore
Linsanity run.
43. Yeah, his Linsanity run, and then he got hurt.
Libor Sanity was.
Dude,
Lib
he was
Sanity.
nuts.
Where were you for Libor Sanity?
Oh, I was in my dorm watching the games on Reddit.
God almighty.
Rafael Diaz.
Oh my God.
Guy had a rocket. Yeah, he had quite the shot. Oh crap, we didn't even do the ice cold take segment. All right, well,
You
ice
fucking
cold
do it.
take is an accurate statement backed by facts and observation that is solid in nature, similar to a block of ice, i.e., a spot on claim. I don't have anything, man.
The New
Oh.
York Rangers will land Patrick Kane and Jake Gensel, both of them. There you go.
Oh.
Lock it in.
Wow.
Lock it in.
Damn. My ice cold take is the New York Rangers. Not for any other reason other than it's James Dolan as the owner, and this is his sphere. The Rangers are going to trade up in the draft this year, and I think they're going to trade to the top 15.
Ooh.
And I think it's James Dolan wants to be on that board.
Who are they taking?
Early.
Double
I
down
know
on it.
I know who I want the most.
I
if-
think we
if-
both agree. Who it
If we're between 10 and 15, I want Cole Eiserman.
yeah.
I don't know any of these prospects. The only one I
Dude.
know is Iginla and Macklin Celebrini.
Put it this way,
Basically, Cole Caulfield.
Yeah, literally the Cole Caulfield, Alex DeBrincat of this draft.
Kensel and or Kane make Mika and Kreider competent 5v5 players. That's the ice cold take. Yes.
That's not a nice cold take.
That's not Colin. Trouba, Kako, and Filipino.
And Lindgren.
No, I'll just say those
Ah.
three for right now.
The
Is that a
fuck
nice cold
out
take,
of
though,
here.
if
Will
it's
not
those three?
be on the team next year.
Is it a nice cold take though? If it's that three, I don't know. Is it?
Heedle is stretching it.
All right, that's actually fair. Yeah, because I
That's
don't know
valid.
if Heedle's
That's
gonna get
crazy. That would be crazy if you do like he said nothing's off the table, but he just signed Heedle
Yeah.
to an extension and he just came back. That's like that would be savage, dude.
Oh,
moved.
dude.
Pull up Matt's comment right now. I will say this: if Cole
Oh,
Eiserman falls,
Dude.
I'm saying it right now. If he's at 19, what team's picking at 19? I'll get this pulled up. All I know is whoever's picking at 19, get on the phone with
Yeah.
them and do the brain Schneider so the Islanders cannot get
Yes.
that guy. Please
Yeah.
do not let the Islanders get their hands on that guy. I am bet. Vegas. Vegas is always down
Boom.
the trade draft pick. So there you go. If maybe they want Jacob Trouba. They always
Yeah.
like getting expensive players. So
Honestly, there are very realistic scenarios where the Rangers could trade up and still end up with an additional first-round pick in this draft if
can
they do
you
it smartly.
imagine they get 15? So
How do you
from
pronounce this
Detroit for
guy's name?
Trouba?
Eiserman.
Zeev Byam?
Oh, Z Bowie.
Bowie.
Oh, there you go. That's fucking Evans' boy.
I
What
would
a
say it's
name.
my boy. No, my boy is Zane
Oh,
Parekh.
Yeah,
Zane Parekh
yeah,
is my
sorry,
boy.
the
Zane
other Z.
Parekh. These
Mhm.
are some name Berkeley Catton, Tijigan, and then you got Michael Hage.
I'm if we're sticking with the ice cold take segment, I'll say this too. My draft one is that Zane Parex's going to end up being the best defenseman from the class.
Yeah.
I view him that highly, and I know he's going to be like the second or third defenseman off the board, but I think he's going to be sick. His shot is ridiculous.
I think Sam Dickinson's gonna be pretty nice too, dude. And that kid's
The top
fucking he's
four
so
defensemen,
well rounded.
honestly.
Yeah.
There's a guy with the last
There we go.
name Mustard. Oh my god, the Rangers have to draft this guy.
Really?
That's a 2BC type pick.
Yeah.
John Mustard.
Oh my god.
Waterloo,
this
USHL. He's
four
a
like
center. He's a center.
oh my god.
Yeah, Joey needs to study up on the draft, study
Yeah.
on trades. Come on, Bruce.
God
Studying
almighty.
a trade for Alex DeBrincat.
We should organize like a
Joseph
massive
Smith.
draft night stream, assuming that we don't. Well, actually, I might be going out for draft night. Damn. If I don't go out, we should do a massive stream. Because that Gabe Pro reaction last year was hilarious.
You're really gonna miss Jacob Trouba, the Jacob Trouba trade live.
Oh no,
reaction.
I'll be out watching the draft.
So what was it? What day? It was recently. It's coming up, like the anniversary of the Trouba trade.
I think it just passed, did it not?
I think it passed. Yeah, I thought it was a couple weeks ago. That was
Yeah.
in May, actually.
June 18th.
Yeah, it passed.
Oh yeah, it was June 18th. Yeah, it was in June.
Okay.
I don't know why I thought it was in May for a second.
Damn. I was gonna say like maybe they do it on the day of, but we're a week past it.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
in other words, it's overdue.
Yeah.
Get rid of them.
What does Saravalli say? He posted an
Put him on the
article.
trade list. Hallelujah.
Thank God.
The
Good
Rangers are
riddance.
exploring all of their options this summer as GM Chris Drury remains as aggressive as ever, trying to get New York over the hump. One of those options is potentially moving his captain. Trouba also just happens to be dropping down from a full no movement clause to a 15-team. No trade list starting on Monday. Trouba has positive trade equity despite the cap.
I love that.
Unbelievable.
I
Because
love
the
that
term is
shit.
so short with 2 years remaining. Teams crave his intensity, leadership, and physicality. Are the Detroit Red Wings looking to upgrade their blue line a viable option for the Michigan native? In addition to upgrades up front, the Rangers are also grinding on an extension for Ryan Lindgren, and his initial asks appear to be pretty reasonable. Well, that okay, reasonable. It better be like 1 year, dude. It's gotta be.
Trouba for Detroit's first round pick. Let's Joe.
Tyrone Taylor just hit a home run. No way.
Oh my God. I gotta go to bed, gentlemen.
Oh wait, I want to see this home run. Wait, I'm still in 1950.
The last thing I'll say before we wrap it up, the Rangers have to take advantage of the fact they could probably get a first for Lindgren.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Like you can.
Vital.
we
And probably
saw-
Ketel as well.
We saw Romanov get a first round pick. Like you cannot possibly tell
But-
me Lindgren can't get a
You
first.
want it a first round pick in this year's draft or a first round pick in next year's draft?
Depends on where the pick is. If it's
Any-
top 20 this year.
Anywhere. I don't care. Get draft ammo. You're gonna need guys on ELCs at some point, or you're gonna need assets to move at the deadline. Like stockpile it with Trouba, stockpile it with Lindgren. Go get some draft capital. Why not?
I
He
agree.
tattooed that ball. It was exit velo 107 miles per hour.
Come on.
Damn. All right. Well, it's late, an hour 22 here. Nick's got to go to bed.
That's the longest stream I think Joey's ever done. We're pumped.
No, it's not the longest. Shut up, Nick. Oh my God, you're the one that needs to go to bed early. I can do this all day.
The government waits for no one.
I was gonna start this now, like at this time.
Dude. I've been fucking snoring.
All right. Well, Ice Cold Takes fans, enjoy the draft. We'll see you next week for free agency. Let's cross our fingers. Hopefully the Rangers get Jake Gensel and
Yes.
or Patrick Kane. Preferably Jake Gensel. Please. Please, please, please. And yeah, that's it. Well, thanks guys for joining the show. As always, like and subscribe if you enjoyed on YouTube. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.